Hi everybody, welcome to Monkey Island Madness. This is just a quick stream because I had ordered some white ink to use. It says for fountain pens here on the label, and it's what it came up on Amazon. And what it says on the little label here is a professional quality calligraphy ink suitable for dip pens and brush. In the description here, it doesn't say anything about fountain pens. But I went ahead and cleaned some of my fountain pens, and I've got some cheap, icky ones that are real old that I'm willing to give it a try in. I don't think I'll ruin the pen. I certainly hope not. But if I do, I do. And that just gives me an excuse to order a new one, you know what I mean? Anyway, this is being recorded live over at Ustream TV, and I do have a group of people in chat that I will be talking with and responding to, so that's why I'm yakking my head off. I clean these tips in an ultrasonic cleaner. Hang on, I got to get rid of one of these chats. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so that's why they're watery, is I put them in there for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes and let them just, and yelling at, yeah, I will yell at Eileen if she needs it, for sure. This one didn't come real clean, so, and this is just a cheap shaper, fine point. I'm not sure which pen I want to try it with. This is also a shaper. I'm thinking I'd rather use a medium tip. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a medium rather than a fine. I'm not trusting this white ink, frankly. I don't think it's going to work well in a fountain pen, but we shall see. And what I'm doing is I'm taking an empty shaper cartridge that has been used before, and I'm just going to fill it with the ink. So that's all I'm doing. And I am using, way to spill coffee. I'm going to use just a syringe, and this probably has water in it too because I cleaned it out a little while ago because I went ahead and filled a couple of the other pens with black ink. So yeah, I don't want to water the ink down because we want it accurate, you know, so we know if this is in fact how it really works. So hi Kimberly, just reading chat. They're all behaving very nicely right now, which tickles me to death. So what I'm thinking, okay, I'll do this first so it can be drying. I did use this earlier with a dip pen. Let me grab a dip pen here. I don't remember which one I used. Probably this one. All right. This has a nice broad tip, but, well, let's see. Yeah, this is the one I'll use. I'm going to go ahead and use a dip pen. Everybody's worn out from being at Joyce's, I know. We get into some of the craziest conversations there, don't we? It's nutty. But it's fun. I have to say, we always have fun at Joyce's. I don't know why the conversations get crazy over there. I'm going to move my camera here real quick so I'm not working right at the edge of the table. Because I got too much junk out here and a full cup of coffee, which is scary. All right. And I just grabbed, this is just a cheap piece of black stock. Who knows where I got it? Probably Michael's or who knows. But anyway, I'll go ahead and dip my pen in. So you can see in a dip pen, well, so we have a comparison, really, is what I want to do. And I have to say, I was pretty happy with how opaque it was. It's not as opaque as Chinese white, but it's fairly opaque. Okay. That's actually showing up on camera more opaque than it is in real life. And believe me, my calligraphy right now leaves a lot to be desired. So, there's no doubt that it's working great with a dip pen. Oops. This pen maybe needs cleaning as well. And this is, I think it said it was non-waterproof, so if you were going to buy this and use it in mixed media, you would have to be aware that it's going to run. It's going to run, it's going to run. Hi, Carrie Ann. Hi, Dee Dee. So then for the real test, of course, this is a real broad nib. So I'm putting down a fair amount of ink here. Okay. And I did go ahead and get myself some clean water. And normally I wouldn't just put my pen in the water. I'd go to the sink and wash it right away because I don't want the ink drying. But because y'all are impatient and I aim to please, I'll just do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and take my handy dandy syringe. I walked into Walmart one day and asked them if I could get syringes. They said yes, and I got them. And I did tell them, okay, let me just squirt this out and see. Okay, it doesn't have any other color in it, so it's good. Doesn't seem to want to go up into the plunger. I'm not going to put a huge amount in there either. And then we got to prime the pen, which is kind of a pain, but it's okay. Yeah, because if this doesn't want to work, I don't want to have wasted all the ink. So I'll show you about how much I put in there. Can you see that? Probably not. How am I going to show you? Can you see? Maybe a ½ inch. Nope, that's not working. ½ inch in the bottom of the cartridge. Now, which nib? All right, I'm going to use the medium. And I'm moving over here to put it on a Kleenex, so if it pukes any out, it's not going all over everything. Oh, Eileen, I didn't do anything to my hand. I don't know, my wrist has been really, really sore, and I had quit taking glucosamine because I hadn't had pain in it for so long, for years, really. And I thought, well, I'm going to see if maybe my wrist healed up and I don't need the glucosamine anymore. Well, it took a couple of months, but sure enough, the pain came back. And the other morning when I went to lift the pot of coffee, I could barely lift the coffee pot. So I put this back on and started taking the glucosamine again. And I think 2 more days of it and I'll be good again. So yeah, I don't know if it's old injury, arthritis, meanness. It could very well be meanness. I'm just mean. All right, and I've got black ink coming out of this. That's why I cleaned them so I wouldn't have that. Yeah, the pole dancing is usually what gets it going, Eileen. I promise you. That's what gets it going. All right, here it's starting to come. Good. But see, yeah, it's just, you guys can't really see that. Let me move all this junk out of the way. Hang on, I'm going to put these pens back together. Well, I know where they still go. Yeah, I'm all right. I'll live through this, believe me. Getting old sucks. That's all I gotta say. Other than not working, I can't think of really one thing that I'm loving about it. And I don't know why. When I have to write a word, I will invariably write my name. And this is a medium nib. Can you see that? It looks opaque on the screen, but I can definitely see the black through it. But this is really behaving a lot better than I expected. Oh, these are the soft braces. Yeah, these are awesome. It does keep my wrist in position, so it's all good. I like it. So yeah, I would say this is good. I'm afraid one thing that's going to happen, and I don't know, I'll know probably later on. If it's going to dry in the nib, that's a scary thing, you know, where when you load it up with ink, you have to use it all. And I don't think it's writing as smooth as other inks, maybe. But remember, I'm using a cheap pen. Now it's stopped wanting to write. Hi, CB. I'm just trying to encourage this silly pen to puke out some ink. Okay, and the reason we got into this discussion and why we're even doing this is the other night at Xandra, she bought the Jane Davenport fountain pen. And she was excited, and I was excited for her. And she said, oh, I'm going to get black ink for one and white ink for the other. And I was like, oh, good luck with the white ink in a fountain pen. And all I did was dip the very point in. I'm afraid this white has dried. Because I was like, you're not going to get white ink that is going to work well in a fountain pen. You're just not. And this may be the proof right here. That it wrote fine for like a minute, but as soon as it dried, then the pen quit working. You hated this pen? Yeah, this is a Sheaffer Delta Grip. That's why I used it, CB, because if I ruin it, I don't care. Whites they're a pain in the neck. That's why I would just keep using my, I will use it for dip pens, but for fine work like this, I'm going to go ahead and keep using that cool one, oh, what is it, the Signo from Japan? Yeah, see, this has stopped writing now, which is not normal for, if your pens are working well, that shouldn't happen, where you write a few words and it dries up. You hated the Jane Davenport pen, is that what you're talking about, CB? And I did ink up some of my other ones. Yeah, you can't beat the white Signo. And this one I haven't really primed, I just kept it. It might have water in it. So I don't know, you guys. I'm feeling like the white pen test is a fail. The Jane Davenport pen, yeah. Well, she's charging $7.99 for it, and you know she's making money on it. Michaels is making money on it. You know it came from China. Yeah, and now I'm trying to force the ink down in there. It could be the ink, but it could be the pen too. You could always refill it with one ink I really like in fountain pens is the Noodler's ink, and then the other one I really like, I'll show you real quick. I've never found a pen that it doesn't work in, always writes smooth, doesn't dry, works well. This is a good ink. I like this, and it comes in millions of colors. But you know what? You can get these cheap Schaefer ones too. In the little pots. They work great. And if they skip, my guess is it's going to be your pen, not your ink. Because as long as the ink is flowing well, your pens won't skip. Yeah, you'll like the Noodlers, Sarah. You'll like the Noodlers a lot. And they have a waterproof black that is fabulous. So, yeah, there's a lot of things you got to consider. You know what? This white ink in a fountain pen, fail. If I have to fight this hard to get white ink out of this pen, the whole lot's going in the garbage. I promise you. So, there you go. It worked initially. It didn't work for long. I would say don't fill your fountain pens with white ink. Now, if one of the rest of you want to try it and do it and prove me wrong, I'd love to see. Since I'm going to put this right back in the ultrasonic cleaner, and there's plenty of ink left in that cartridge, so it wasn't like I puked out all the ink, we'll go ahead and try it in another pen. So I'm saying at least, and this is the only brand I found, the Winsor & Newton in a fountain pen, big fat fail. Don't do it. So now I can ruin 2 pens. Guess what, Jet Pens? I'll be on your site tonight. Yeah, I'm not going to fight with a pen like this. I'm just not. Let me go put this in the ultrasonic cleaner real quick before it dries and wrecks it anymore. The ultrasonic cleaner should save it, though. Oops. Oh, well. Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, you'll like the Noodler's ink. You will. Okay, the white has gotten down. I can see it. You can see it when it gets in the ribs down there, that your white ink has started flowing. Might take, ooh, got right through there. All right, so let's time. It's 2:36 Central Time right now. I'm just going to write endlessly. Can you read what I'm writing? And it could be if I wanted to do this, maybe I just need to write endlessly and then get it cleaned up right away. Because I'm sure part of the formula dictates that this stuff dries quickly. I went quiet, huh? Because I can't think and write at the same time. I probably have had this Schaefer fountain pen since I was in high school, and I'm not kidding. Can you guys read what I'm writing? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, Sarah. I just finished my sentence. I'm going to go ahead and cap it, and I'll leave it nib side down. But I wrote, Janet, Janet, Janet is a princess. White ink in a fountain pen rocks if it will work for longer than 2.5 minutes. So far, so good. And I've already opened my big mouth and said it was a big fat fail, and now it seems to be working fine. What a bonehead princess I am. So I would say, if you keep on writing, it works good. It's an old Schaefer, Sarah. This yellow pen that I'm using, it's just an old Schaefer. They're the cheapest fountain pens you can buy, but they're durable and they last forever. This one actually is a fine nib. You can get them in fine and medium, and I think they have a bold one too. I don't think I have a bold one. But yeah, that's it's just a cheap Schaefer. This actually is a fountain pen I got off Wish for like no money. And it's got Chinese ink in it. I bought a bottle of their inexpensive ink. And I would say for what I've got invested, this whole thing, the pen and the ink, was less than $10. So yeah, I would say if you just want to play with one, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, I literally spent less than $10 on the bottle of ink. So yeah, if you're this one, I like it fine. I mean, if I'm going to sit down and journal and stuff, you know, like fix a cup of tea and sit down to actually write, I'm going to pick my nicest pen just because it's part of the whole feeling I get doing it. If I want something just to make scratches on paper, I don't really care. And I bought this as an experiment, and it was okay. It really was. It does look exactly like the Lamy. Yeah, it does. It looks exactly like a Lamy. It doesn't say Lamy on it. But yeah, it looks like a Lamy Safari for sure. And for those of you who are not fountain pen freaks, Lamy is a name brand of a fountain pen that is very popular in the fountain pen world. Yeah, I like the Chinese ink. Fine. I spent no money on it. See, that's just it. That the black ink in the box that I showed you, that's probably at least $36 worth of ink. Okay. But it will last me, and it's in a beautiful bottle and everything. But literally, this is probably $36 worth of ink. This big honker is less than $5 worth of ink. So, you know, I don't know if it's one of those deals that ink is ink, or I really don't know. But I can promise you one thing. If it creates problems for me, or if the pen blobs ink or makes a mess, I'm not fighting with a pen, or I'm not fighting with ink. I'm throwing it away. Because my hands, look at them. Yeah, I like the permanent ink too, Sarah. I really do. But then you've got to realize too, that puts a lot of burden on you to keep your pens really clean. Because when it dries, they say permanent for a reason. So, yeah, keep that in mind, that it really puts a burden on you to keep your pens spotless. All right, I have a top and no pen. What the heck? And I know you guys have seen it before, those of you who like and use dip pens. I saw this on a Dee Dee show. One of the viewers, and Dee Dee, I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was, made Dee Dee one of these to hold the dip pen nibs. And I thought it was flippin' ingenious. So I copied it, and I'd love to give credit to whoever really came up with this design. Because look at it, holds your nibs so awesomely. And with 3 tiers, I mean, I could have made it 6, but you can see all your nibs. So nice. This is, whoever did this, kudos to you. You're brilliant. How do I clean them? I have an ultrasonic cleaner. And the reason I have an ultrasonic cleaner is because I designed forms by hand for many years, and I used technical pens. And you probably, I don't know how many of you have ever even seen a technical pen. Let me see if I've got one here real quick. And like everything else in my life, one set isn't enough. You have to have 15 or 20, you know what I mean? And I literally probably do have 3 sets of these. But they're, these are the technical pens. And they came in different nib sizes. Is this familiar, Dee Dee? Your old Rapidograph pens? And those nibs, I mean, like on the 0 and the 00, they're as fine as a hair, or finer. And so to get these clean, you had to put them in an ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, I knew you had used them, and they were a pain. But I still love my pens, my technical pens, The ink for this was permanent. And if you ever let these pens dry up, OMG, would you hate yourself later? Yeah, all these pens probably, these are more the same thing, only a different design. So, but yeah, I have sets of these, and I had a green set, and so that's why I had it. Do not rush out and buy one. If I didn't have the ultrasonic cleaner just to throw my my pens in and my pen nibs in, I would probably get a little dish, put real hot water in it, a drop or two of Dawn dishwashing detergent, and let it soak. And then I blow through mine. I mean, blow the water out and make sure that they're flowing fine. If that doesn't work, you can also use jewelry cleaner on them. I've done that. Yeah, I still like my my technical pens. But an ultrasonic cleaner, I don't even know how much they cost now. I honestly don't. I think I paid $40 for mine many, many years ago. I mean, honestly, I was designing forms by hand 1981. I know, before you even start, let me just say, some of you weren't born when I was working full-time, graduated from college. We're not going to talk about it because it just makes me feel old. Technical pens will make you crazy. But if you're getting paid for cleaning them, who cares? You're going to be there 8 hours anyway. Right? By microns, exactly. But, Dee Dee, I will say, and in my line of work it was critical, the technical pens made such a nice, crisp line. I mean, you could magnify that line, and the edges were just as crisp as if you'd cut it with a X-Acto knife. Okay, you can get one for $30, so there you go. They've come down. Go figure. But for the stuff we're doing now, yeah, microns are great. No, I have my ultrasonic cleaner. If it ever breaks or doesn't work anymore and Robert can't fix it, I wouldn't buy another one. But it does make my life easy, because now when I want to clean it, I just throw all that junk in, turn it on. When you say it, oh, the Staedtler brand pens aren't permanent, I don't know. If you look, you probably can find one. Most pen companies will make a, yeah, an hour of cleaning for every hour of work. No lie, Dee Dee. I'd be surprised if Staedtler did not make a permanent ink pen. I'd be shocked. But what do I know? I don't know everything. I think I know everything, but I don't know everything. So, yeah, when you do watercolor, you're always looking for waterproof black inks. I don't know, Sarah, I can look into that and maybe make some recommendations. If I want to use something that I know is absolutely permanent, I just pull out a Sharpie. I really do. All right, Mac just says she has a Staedtler blackline pen that's permanent. It's awesome and comparable to the microns. So there you go. I think if you look, you'll find them. Yeah. Hi, Kathy. You had to use them in school for commercial art? Yeah. Well, Kathy, I don't even know how old you are, but I think you have to be a certain age to recognize that we didn't have the convenience of walking into a Michael's and buying micron pens. I mean, you bought the Rapidograph ink and the technical pens, you filled them, you used them, you cleaned them, and started over the next day. Perm/waterproof, yes. So I'm just catching up with chat. So I don't know, Kathy, what you've missed is I was doing an experiment. I don't know where the guts for that one is. With fountain pens. The other night when we were all at Xandra's, she was so excited to put white ink in the in her fountain pen. So I took one of my old cheap fountain pens and I bought some Winsor & Newton white calligraphy ink that said it was for use in fountain pens. I'm skeptical, okay? I don't think you're going to have any real long-term luck with this. But that's what we're trying. My first pen clogged up and quit writing right away after like a minute and a half. This one wrote all this. And it's brilliant because I wrote it. So now we'll try again. All right. This is the white pen I was using, wherever my camera is. Yeah, as soon as I stopped writing with it, if it was a normal fountain pen, when you pick it up and go like that again, you'd start getting ink flow. So I'm going to say, and y'all can dispute me if you want. I'm not going to argue with you. Well, I will, but I'm going to say don't put white ink in your fountain pens. You're not going to have good luck, and it's not going to work well. So if you want really cool white, and I don't know where my Chinese white is. I think I hid it from myself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bath and see if I can encourage it to write that way. Look what a mess it's making. Caca. Yeah. Okay. I dipped it in water. I got to put my glasses on. Yeah, I like it for dip pens. Yeah, all this up here, Kathy, was the dip pen. And it worked good. And it's fairly opaque. I mean, I don't know that that is depicting it really accurately, but it's certainly as good as, say, one of the Signos or one of those. I mean, for that broad a line, I would say it's okay. All right, I dipped it in water, which I don't normally do, but I'm trying to be really fair here, and I'm getting some ink flowing back out of it. But it's not flowing. Okay, see, it's not flowing well. I would say it's scratchy. And the more I'm doing, the better it's writing. So I don't know. I would say yes, it's working. If you want to put it into your pen for a short time, use it and clean it out. That's the best recommendation I could give you. But to fill your pen with white ink, walk away and leave it, I think you're jeopardizing the life of your pen. That's just my gut feeling. But I will say one thing I am surprised about. Kathy, if you ever get, Kathy said the Signo pens make her crazy, and Dee Dee has said this before. And if you can't get one or you want to try one, I'll be happy to send you one because I just ordered a bunch. This Uniball Signo with the little yellow lettering. Oh, and the light is messing with it. Let me see. Can you see that yellow writing up there? These are the best white pens I've ever in my life found. Look at that white. I mean, it comes out of the pen just as opaque and as nice and thick as you could ever hope to have. That's the fountain pen ink. This one is the Winsor & Newton. This is the Signo. This is so good. And if you don't have one, Kathy, I will get your address and happily send you one, and then you can do an experiment on your stream. Is that yes, you have one, or yes, you need one? You have to say out loud so I know, or tell me more specifically. I've not had any trouble with these. Now, I have had trouble with the jelly, with the Ranger. I'm just going to tell you flat out, Rangers stink. Mine dried up. They sent me new ones. This isn't a Ranger, but yeah, and it was just a matter of days before they didn't work either. So yeah, these are the ones made in Japan. That's what I'm saying. You need, all right, Kathy. You have got one coming to you. Yeah, Ranger sucks. And I'm sorry, Ranger. I support your products in every other aspect. Believe me, I'm broke because of you. But your white pens leave a lot to be desired. All right, the Winsor & Newton. This is the dip ink. MAC. Yeah. In the fountain pen. They are terrible. Rangers are. See, we all agree. And believe me, I think every one of us would say the bane of our existence as artists and who use these products is we're in search of the Holy Grail when it comes to white pens. Now this ink, and it could be I still had some black residue. Yeah, see, this ink is coming out gray now. Ooh, that's a pretty gray, though. So I had some black ink left in there. So keep that in mind. They obviously didn't clean as well as I'd hoped. So I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, what I would say is if it's something you really feel like you need or want, do it. But what I would do is I would get a dip pen and do it that way. Because you can get, the cool thing about dip pens is you get a handle. I have tons of handles. And the nibs just come right out. And you can get like all these nibs that go in your pen. Hello? Who wouldn't love that? So, yeah, I would say if you want to do the white ink thing, get yourself a dip pen and experiment because it's fun. I mean, I could mess with dip pens and ink all day long. I guess one project I'd really like to do, I was laying in bed last night thinking about it, because I think about what I'm going to do to entertain you goofballs. What I'd like to do is do like a nice quote and then do the edge of it with illuminated art, because that is my absolute all-time favorite art. So, yeah. Your tongue is a lifesaver for the nibs of the microns and Cygnus. Well, that's true. I have licked mine. Kiyotaki Zig white ink. Yeah. So that's what Jen. That's kind of my take on it. Jen just came in, and we're doing an experiment with white ink in fountain pens. Jen, don't do it. That's my free advice to you today. Don't do it. I made gray by not cleaning my pen adequately, but my other pen dried up moments after I used it. So, and this is just all my little scribbles. You love illuminated art, so do I. I just love it. I have the best book. I'll have to get it out and show you guys someday. So, if you're going to buy the white ink, use a dip pen. That's my free advice. I'll leave that out so I remember to send that off. Goofball. Goofball. Okay, those in my world, Mac, are terms of endearment. Goofball, bonehead, yeah. Freak. Those are terms of endearment. Just saying. Means I love you. Okay, so that's that. Unless you have other questions about pens or ink or filling pens or using them, whatever. Yeah, I've said all I can say about inks and pens. I do love fountain pens. Yeah, Denise, there's something about illumination that is magical, I think. Ooh, that sounds good, Carol Renee. She's having spaghetti sauce. I love spaghetti. So yeah, I will clean these pens out that I put white in, like, today. So, all right, wink, wink back at you, Mac. So I'm going to quickly, Carrie wrote me yesterday, and y'all have seen me use my lettering guides, okay? And this is for really anal people. All right, I'll go get it in a minute or two. Orla, I'll go get the book. Yeah, Carol Renee didn't want to go to a stream, not mention food, because that's all we talk about when we go to streams, is what we're going to eat next. I'll go get the book in a minute. All right, so can you guys see the acetate? And this crazy thing is just a lettering guide, and it makes all your letters the same height. You can get really good at it with practice. And then if you want to write on your art, yeah, I don't think you have to worry so much. Let me grab a piece of paper. I don't normally do this with fountain pen. I usually write cursive with my fountain pens. I don't even know. Fountain pen, the thing is, the ink stays wet, and so it might get up underneath it. But to prevent that, all you have to do is put a little bit of masking tape on the bottom side, and it'll lift it up off the paper just enough that your ink won't get under it. So anyway, all these do is keep your lettering very tidy. And if you use block letters, everything stays really uniform. And everybody always says, oh, your writing is so perfect, it's so perfect. All those are is block letters. This is the magic. I'm not magic. So, and everybody's saying, oh, where can you buy them? Where can you buy them? Don't spend your money. I can't remember. Somebody looked these up. And what they were charging for these things is freakishly crazy. Like, don't go do it. This one has an opening that is 1/8 inch, 5/32, 3/16, and 1/4 inch high. And those are pretty good measurements. I would probably want one smaller than 1/8 of an inch. But if I was going to make one of these, I would get out my handy dandy ruler and get a good ruler. I mean, I'm not going to get out my type gauge, because then you're going to think you need one of those. You don't need one of those. Yeah, on Amazon it was $30. That's craziness. So just get yourself a good ruler. Let me see if I have a ruler that you guys could buy. Really easy. All right, here we go. I've got one. You guys probably have one much like this. Okay? Just get a good ruler where you can see. Measure yourself out. Let me see how big this is in compared to this. It's almost the same size, a little bit shorter. All right, so let's just say I'll measure this. This is 5/8 inch down from the top, and then a little bit more than 5/8 in between. All right, you can come up with whatever measurements you want, okay? I'm going to get myself another piece of white scratch paper so you can see my marks as I make them. But this is the way I would do it. If I wanted one of these, I would go ahead and make my, now my piece of crap Sharpie isn't going to write. I'll get this one. Make yourself little tick marks. Okay, this one I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch. And then count 2, 4, 5. The next one was 5/32. I don't have 30 seconds on this ruler. So I'm going to have to get out my other ruler. Oh, your acetate, yeah, it has to be somewhat firm. Let's see, 5/32. I don't know. I'm going to do, what was the next one? 5/32, 3/16. I'm going to jump right to 3/16. Okay, and that's a little broad for this. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, this one I'm going to do 1/4 inch. All right, so you have this one. I did 3 different sizes. Can you see that where I just made myself little tick marks? Okay, make sure your edge here is straight. Put it in your cutter, whatever, but get yourself a straight edge to measure from. I came down 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 down. I did 3/16. And then 1/4. Now I'm going to check myself, make sure. And the way I generally check myself, because I know Eileen is in chat right now saying, oh my God, she's so anal, she's such a freak. I am. I have to double check myself. I've screwed up too many times not to double check myself. And the thing is, measure once, cut twice. No. See, I do have a little error down here. It's a good thing I checked. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went down an extra 1/16. Let me see if I can erase it. You can erase on acetate. Measure twice, cut once. I was kidding, Denise. I know this saying. Just seeing if you guys are paying attention. And then 1/4 inch. Alright, now I'll double check myself again. I would have really goofed up, and then Eileen would really be making fun of me. Which, if she didn't come to the streams and make fun of me, I would be having no fun at all. Now we're going to check it again. Okay, my marks look spot on. Alright, and I should have, and didn't. One thing I would recommend if you're going to make your own and you're going to cut into acetate, make sure your X-Acto blade is sharp. Jean's going to cut hers on her silhouette. But yeah, so there's one thing in this world that makes your life easy, and that's a sharp X-Acto. I use a lot of them, so I buy boxes of 100. Oh, you typed it before I said it out loud? Yeah, and see, I goofed it up on purpose. I know. Measure twice, cut once. Yeah. Now, if I haven't lost my X-Acto knife. Yeah, that bad boy's dull. Make sure your X-Acto is nice and sharp. because these can be dangerous. And when I throw a blade away, I wrap it in something. I would never put it in trash. Just the blade, because who knows, tomorrow I might go in there looking for something that I lost. So, yeah, you could do it that way too, Carol. All right, Dee Dee. Have a fun evening. We'll see you later. So this is how I throw my X-Acto blades away, because I'm afraid somebody getting hurt. Where do I buy boxes of 100? I think the last one I ordered, I've had this one for a long time. I've got a new one because for me, this many is I'm getting low and I start getting nervous. I have not seen an X-Acto blade sharpener. They're so inexpensive, I'll just throw them away and get a new one. I'm not going to sharpen my X-Acto blade. Yeah, put in an old prescription bottle. Yeah, I don't just dump them in the trash. But anyway, yep. Let me find my cutting mat. What did I do with it? I hid it from myself again. Oh, my cutting mat is right here. I'm looking for it, you guys. There's nothing wrong with me. Alright, I'm going to try and, you sharpen yours with a kitchen knife sharpener. I'm like, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to give myself some edges. I think I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch. You guys, I'm losing everything today. What is wrong with me? Because I'm putting things back in the wrong place. Yeah, I'm going to come in, I think 3/4 inch to give myself plenty on the edge. And remember, I can erase this off, so I'm going to go ahead and give myself. These are going to be my edges, and I don't like drawing against that ruler. I'll draw against this one. I can clean it. I'm going to add a little bit larger size down on the bottom too. Alright, my largest size on here was 1/4 inch. I'm going to go ahead and give myself one larger type than that too. So it was 4 5/8. I'm going to leave, I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see, 5 was 1/4 inch. That only leaves, that's alright. It's not a size I'll use a lot. So I don't have 5/8 on this edge, but it's okay. Alright, so then I can do a little bit larger type on that one. What are you guys talking about? Janet has lost it. You saw X-Acto sharpener? Okay, couldn't afford it at the time. Yeah, you have to be really careful. You break the tip off them. Yeah. Okay, he sharpens his with a real fine file. See, I'm just not going to mess with that. I throw them away and get a new one. You can buy a box for like no money. Life's too short. And now you can walk into a hardware store and get those throwaway, I don't know what they call them, the craft knives with the push-up things and the blades that break off. You can get those things for $1. So yeah, I'm not going to sit around and sharpen this stuff. All right, Eileen, you need to explain to me right now, right this minute. All right, I'm going to use it this way this time because the cork will keep it from sliding. Okay, I'm just going to line this up real carefully on my dots. And I'm not pushing hard, you guys, because I don't want to break my tip, okay? And I can kind of feel as I go over it. And I'm just dragging it along, not pushing hard. I can feel it going through. I'm almost through the acetate. And if it takes me 4 or 5 times, who cares? Okay, it just went through that time. Box cutters, yeah. Box cutters, craft knives, whatever you call them. Yeah, throw away $1. Get yourself one. They're awesome. But I'm an X-Acto knife freak. And you guys, if it's not exactly straight, nobody's going to notice, but it's going to make your handwriting beautiful. And if it makes you guys happy, it makes me happy. Hey, Jen, is Hubs watching me? Is that why he's answering stuff? If you're watching Hubs, hi there. I sure enjoyed your guitar playing the other day. All right, I have tons of X-Acto knives. I just like this one because it's easy to find in all my other junk here. And these are size 11 blades. Okay, single edge razor blades are really cheap too, you're right. Yeah. So, yeah, use whatever works. I mean, I wouldn't invest a lot of money, you guys. I mean, really, what are you doing here? You're cutting paper more often than not. I try not to forget that. It looks like 3 drags along this is going through really nicely. But we won't know if the material has worked really well until we actually try to letter with it and use it. All right, do you have any questions? I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, right? And the reason I left so much space in between the lines is I don't want the acetate to give as I'm writing against it. I mean, maybe I didn't have to leave 5/8. But yeah. Oh, Jen, I was talking to you while you were out getting coffee. I asked if Hubs was watching with you. And I told you to tell him hi and tell him I enjoyed his guitar playing the other day. Seems like it was just last week, but it was probably longer ago than that. All right. It's starting to work. Okay, and I turned it upside down, and now I'm going to put my weight on this side because I don't want it moving while I'm cutting. So that's why I did that. And again, you don't have to push hard. The reason your blades break is because you're pushing hard. When they're real sharp, you don't have to. I actually like this size that I'm cutting right now, the width of it anyway, because it's long enough that it would fit like on the inside of a card or something, so you don't have to move it as you go. He said it must be cold over here because I have a jumper on. I do. I have my long johns. Well, it's not cold today. Today it's in the 70s. But yeah, it was cold earlier. What are Jiffies in Oz? Oh my God, Eileen, you just never give it a break, do you? He is watching. Hi, Hubs. Now I'm just cutting the edge off. And after I make the mark, I'll go back without the ruler, because the corners are the thing that are a pain in the neck. Is my head in here? Gentle Hubs, it has been so brutally cold here, honestly. It's been horrible. And it's coming back this Friday. Right now we're having a beautiful day. But yeah, it's not supposed to last. And you guys are in summer, so you're probably sitting in air conditioning right now. And my furnace is running around the clock. Alright, first one's out. Oh, let's see. Second one's going to pop out. Renee says they're expecting bad weather. Yeah, but what, like, we can't really complain. It's January. If I have mid-70s in January, you're not going to hear me complaining. Alright, all the guts came out. And now I'll try and put it against black background. Maybe you'll be able to see again. There's your lettering guide. Now the one thing I would add to this, I'm going to see if I can get my black dots off. If I erase hard enough, I can get them off. Can you guys hear that? Listen.
An idiot is attempting to reach you on your cellular device.
Say it again. Oh, it's not going to say it again. Come on. I don't know who it is, so, I don't know who it was. But did you guys hear that? My ringtone is, it says, an idiot is attempting to reach you on your cellular device. And there's an X-rated version of that too that I was really tempted to put down, but I liked idiot better. Would that be better to use a transparency to make this? Well, Eileen, the only thing I think is whatever you use, like the acetate they use for packaging, like Jean is using, that stuff is awesome because it's very firm. Like, that's garbage now. Jeez, somebody's trying to get a hold of me, obviously. I hope it's set. Come on. Oh, it was Robert. Did his number not come up? No, that's not right. Not gonna worry about it. It said an idiot is trying to reach you on your cellular device. I know, isn't that funny? You guys, if you're wondering if I'm a politically correct person, no, I'm not. I do things for my own enjoyment, and I humor myself all day long. My notification, if you noticed, is Super Mario Brothers. Dun, 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 dun. I love Super Mario Brothers. I almost did Zelda. Alright, the one thing I would do, we'll get back to business now, rather than worrying about who's trying to get a hold of me. So can I buy some? Oh, well, of course you can. Super Mario. I know. I love Super Mario. Is TH trying to call? TH. Who's TH? Tim Holtz? I'm trying to think what else you can buy. You know what I actually got? But I don't know if you can buy them anymore. Martha Stewart used to sell acetate sheets. But really, that packaging that you get most of your junk in. You know what you can use if you saved it? Let me show you, Eileen. I'll show you. This one would be really sturdy. Because I don't leave my stamps on these things. Okay? This is the Crazy Cats ones. This would make a really, really good lettering guide. This bad boy is sturdy as all get out. So yeah, you could use the acetate that your stamps come on. That's an idea. Now you're going to have to cut through that more than 2 or 3 times. I promise you that. Stencil sheets. Now, depending on the stencil sheet, Linda, some of them are pretty darn flimsy. And the thing is, if it's not a pretty sturdy piece of acetate, this will give as you write against it. Like those report covers, they're a little flimsy. Because you want it to be pretty inflexible when you're writing against it. See, that one just gave a little bit when I pushed against it. You don't want that. Now I can hold it, and it's especially going to be noticeable on the larger, and see, this isn't as thick as that, but on the larger one, you're going to have to hold it. But yeah, there's the 4 sizes that I have on this lettering guide, and that one, I goofed that one up. You can get it for Amazon for $8. Yeah, you can get more stamps too, Eileen. See? Hello. You know his assistant is Mario. Okay, that's why you said that. Because I'm thinking, why would Tim Holtz be calling me? Unless you heard what I said about Ranger White pens, in which case he's coming to kick my ass. Alright, so I don't know if you noticed on this one, it gives you a line right here for your left margin, right margin, whatever. That's so if you line it up against the edge of a sheet, you have a guide to go by there. So somewhere along in here, I'll give myself a guide. Alright, let's see. I came in 5/8. I'll just come in an inch. What the heck, it doesn't matter. And an inch on this side. And then you could give yourself guidelines, like this one has guidelines right above that, so you can keep your writing straight, but you can use these edges too. So that's pretty much that. No magic here, boys and girls, no magic. I hate drawing against these plastic rulers, but I'm going to do it again. And this Sharpie, unless you always keep this side up, it will rub off. So you might have to put this back. But you could spray it with a fixative too, and I may do that so it doesn't rub off. So there you go. Now, one thing I would say, I would cover the edges of this with washi tape. Yeah, and they have heavy plastic portfolios at the Dollar Tree. I mean, who cares if they've got print on them? I mean, I like being able to see through mine as I'm moving down the page. You need the line above the opening for spacing for the next line below. Yes. I generally eyeball it. Just so you guys can see. New washi. These will be cut out and used like stickers. Yes, CB's right. So if you, and on this one, the space that they've drawn the line above that opening is the same as the opening itself. So, yeah, so if you put the lines to keep your writing straight, yeah, it's the same amount of space as the opening. And I could do that. I guess I'm not doing anything else. And if I say I'm going to get off, you guys are going to whine like babies. So I'll go ahead and draw the lines across too. Let's see, that one was 3/16. That one was 1/4 inch. And that one was 3/8. 1, 2, 3. I have found your favorite washi place, CB. Suzanne, you know, at Dollar Tree, you're not gonna, the microperm will never come off, okay? Cass, I'm gonna kiss you on the lips. Microperm. I will be ordering a case lot tonight. Buddy for fountain pens, bet they say the same as you. Oh, good, Dorothy. Please let me know when you get information back from them. I'd love to hear if they say the same thing I say. Then I'll know I'm genius. If a real expert says that. Duh. And this kind of stuff would drive some people crazy because it's tedious. I could do this all day long. All day long. All right, so this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm pretty sure I'm right, so I'm not going to double check myself. But if this was critical, I would double check myself every time I made a measurement. Because I'm anal that way. And I'm not going to apologize. Microperm. Okay, somebody go on Amazon, please, and find out about microperm. I'm excited about that. I'm really going to order a case of them. And actually, if I had a fine line Sharpie, I would have used it, but I don't have one. This is the best I've got right now. Alright, you etch that first line, then rub Sharpie in it. Might not rub off. Possibly, Carol, that is a great idea. You are genius level. I think you're genius level intelligence, Carol. I called you crybaby, CB. Oh, okay. Eileen's explaining to Jen about our Joycey conversation. That was hysterical, I swear. How we get into these conversations, I don't know. This one is probably a little flimsier than I'd like. You're obsessed. See, I think you're just like me, Carol. I think you and I would be like the same people. All right, I'm gonna add some washi tape to this, but I want to find some pretty. All right, here's one that's not colorful or offensive. We'll use it. This washi, always reminds me of Xandra, and when you see it, you'll see why. Look at, isn't that Xandra washi? Alright, so my washi tape is, it looks like about a 1/2 inch, little more than a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops, it moved a hair. Oops, moved a big hair. I had such a frustrating start to my day today. Ugh. Alright, I'm going to have to, never mind. Think, would ya? I'm just trying to get the washi straight now. So, and you guys are talking about food again. Oh my God, we are obsessed with food. And I'm putting washi on the edge so it doesn't cut you, you know? Because these edges can be quite sharp. The washi tape could mark your guidelines and lift it slightly at the same time. True. True. But one thing about washi, its ability to stick for any length of time is, yeah, questionable at best. But it makes it pretty. But yeah, it could lift it up off the paper as well. So yeah, Carol. Smart girl you are. That one I didn't get exactly right. So on some of them you can see the back side of the tape. That's not something that will bother me. Oh, and I'll show you guys too. Yesterday as I had time, I worked on the little watercolor book. You know, the water soluble product book, to go book. I'll show it to you real quick. And I have extra pages in it that I don't know what I'm going to put in there. Hi, Carrie. Hey, Carrie, look what I'm making. Put it against black paper so you can see it now. I made a cool lettering guide. I wish it was a little bit more firm, but it'll work. Okay, you guys, tell me what is Jiffy in Australia? Is it the same as UK? Oh, Wee Hootie had her surgery. Cool. Okay, you guys have to, you need more acetate. Do you have any, I just showed this to Eileen. Do you have any of the acetate from Stamps? Because this is really thick. In fact, I think I'm going to make myself a new one out of this for the couch. Oh, they're like ballet shoes. So put your tutu on and go for it, Jen. They're slippers. Jiffies are slippers. Okay, well, there you go. You guys, if you say Jiffies in UK, you're talking about ballet slippers. Or ballet, yeah, slippers. That's funny. Yeah. Here means Jiffy is hurry. Well, it can mean peanut butter, too. Yeah, Jiffy can be peanut butter. Need more acetate. So I don't know, Carrie. I'll try and think up more stuff that you could do this. But I think the clearer the better. So, yeah. But this, I think I'm going to turn this one into it. It's going to be hard to cut through, though. And it's scratched up, but I don't really care about that. So, do you guys think this needs a new home somewhere? Yeah, peanut butter. This one's really not as firm as I would like. Maybe I shouldn't give it away. I don't want to give away junk. Junk. Oh, you guys don't have Jiffy Muffin Mix either? Yeah, clear is definitely the preferable way to do this. I'm just testing it before I agree to give it away to you guys. If I kind of keep my hands on it and hold it, it's fine. Okay, here, I'm writing a note for you guys. Oops. Okay, I'm going to hold it up and let you guys read it. All right, Suzanne said that Carol Renee asked for it. Eileen says send it to Renee. Well, there you go, Renee. I'm not even going to have to do a giveaway. Apparently the consensus is you want it, so you get it. So let me see, Carol. I don't know that I have your email or how to get a hold of you. I have your post office box, Carol. So I will get this in an envelope to you. Is she even still here? Okay, yeah, she's still here. All right, this is going to Carol Renee. And just because I'm kind of a butthead, I'm going to say I'm glad I'm not sending it to one of you overseas people because, man, you are some kind of expensive dates. Not really. I'm kidding you. I would send it. Yeah, I found that I do have your address, Carol, so I can stick that out in the post office and just put stamps on it. It's no big deal. Yep, I'm a brain, and Sunset Carol is brainier. So there you go. Okay, Orla wanted to see that book real quick. Let me go see if I can locate it, because I moved some of my big books at Christmas time. If I can find it quickly, I'll show you. All right, found it. This bad boy is a big book. It is huge and heavy. I'm just wondering if I should try and get that camera higher. Let me see, how can I do that without just wrecking the whole world? No, that's not going to work. Oh well, we're just going to have to work with it like this, because otherwise I have to change everything. This is literally my favorite kind of art. And when you know how they did it and what they had to do to create this art, yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know how much nudity is in here. Probably not much. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about a nude being on the front. Not completely nude, but anyway. Yeah, this kind of art, I'm going to turn this light off and see if that helps. That helps a little bit. So, yeah, when you read, like, there's a lot to read in here, and it's all about the people who created this kind of art. And the time periods that they did it. It's not this book. But the Latin and just, I don't know, there's just something so appealing. Well, I can't hardly show this book without nudes. But okay, this, for example, this page right here, I think is the most beautiful piece of art anywhere, anytime. I mean, the borders, and you have to remember that there's gold on this, and that they had to mix their own inks, and I don't have any nudes here, I don't think. But anyway, if they kick me off, okay, I'll stop the recording. But I have to stop the whole broad. Okay, I'll stop the recording. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys.